They said, oh, it's negotiable on the wall.
Everything. By the way, it is negotiable. Things are negotiable. I'll be honest with you. You know, I'll make the wall 2 feet shorter or something. I mean, everything's negotiable.
It's not negotiable about building it.
No, building it, not negotiable.
It's not negotiable about, would it be negotiable about the 11 million? Maybe let some people stay if they register in a period of time?
I would say this. Look, I've always said we have some good people over here, and they're going to go out, but we will work out some system that's fair.
Well, that was Donald Trump on Hannity last night, clarifying his position on the wall along the Mexican border. But Trump comments did draw some controversy, as always. And the question now is could this impact him tonight or later on in the election process? Rejoining me now, Katrina Pierson and Morgan Ortagus. Of course, Katrina, you know, a lot of people leaped on the idea that earlier in the week there was a report yesterday, as a matter of fact, that perhaps Donald Trump gave an interview with the New York Times and sort of with a wink and a nod suggested that he would be different on immigration than his rhetoric, less harsh. You heard Sean talk about the border, maybe the wall being different, and certainly maybe not exporting or having 11 million people leave the country. Where does he stand?
Well, this is something that he's been talking about for quite some time, and it's interesting how the day before Super Tuesday, all of a sudden, there's some top secret bombshell out there. This was from a New York Times interview back in January, where just a few days after that, Mr. Trump sat down with Byron York and did an exclusive on that topic. And he's always talked about everything as a negotiation, but there are some things that are non-negotiable, like building the wall, like deportation. So what they're doing is they're taking these negotiable aspects and trying to put them as a broad spectrum, and it's just simply not true.
So to be clear, 11 million plus illegal immigrants in this country will be deported.
Yes, illegal aliens will be deported. Yes, Mr. Trump has always been forthright on that. Senator Jeff Sessions obviously agrees with us. And that's really been a pinnacle of his campaign. And Mr. Trump always talks about negotiations. And I'll also say, if you haven't read The Art of the Deal, that's a part of it.
Morgan, you know, of course, Mitt Romney tweeting about this, saying this is sort of like the tax release thing. Something is not right. Something is wrong. If there's smoke, there's fire. Where do you see this?
Well, listen, I think that Donald Trump's entire candidacy, so to speak, was built upon deporting 11 million illegals, building the wall, and making Mexico pay for it. So while what tends to happen, of course, in general elections is people try to moderate, get the middle of the vote, I don't see how Trump, if he comes out the nominee after the convention, could do that and have any credibility with his, as he likes to call him, his fan base. So I think that he has to stick to this. He has to lay out detailed policy plans for how he's going to do it. And I don't think that this is something, there's certain issues that you may be able to modulate on. This is the one issue that his entire candidacy is built on. So he can't step back from this. You know, one thing, Katrina, real quick, is some people are saying it's Donald Trump looking forward to a general election and maybe just trying to temper a little bit the notion, you know, that he's going to be as harsh as some of his rivals are making it out to be.
Well, I think that's also a part of the art of the deal, is you allow people to think they'll get something out of it. And when he talks about the Iranian deal, he tells a whole story. He says, yeah, we'll do X, Y, and Z, but first you got to give us Q. Then they give you Q, and then you walk away. I mean, this is another example of what it's going to take to get things done. And as my colleague mentioned, this is one of those things that Mr. Trump is not going to back away from, because this is going to put him in the White House, and it will be a top priority for him. All you see now are his detractors and his other opponents wanting to put a little slight of doubt in people's minds about Mr. Trump, but his base knows.